Hi there, my name is Robert Sherwood, and this is my final project presentation. Juvenile delinquency. What is it? Juvenile delinquent between ages of 10 and 18 who commit delinquent acts often becomes a habitual offender lasting into adulthood. Two types of delinquent acts. The same act, if committed by an adult, will be considered a crime, and act is only considered a delinquent act due to the fact that the person committing the act is underage. Juvenile delinquency is an ongoing, increasing problem with more serious acts committed, more violence and gang-related activities. In order to address the problem, causes may be identified. Major causes of juvenile delinquency. Socioeconomic status involves several theories. Strain theory. Juveniles engage in acts of delinquency to gain status and make up for what they lack. Rational choice theory. They are already at the bottom and have nothing to lose. Social disorganization theory, from lower class neighborhoods where lack of supervision, education, and positive influences contribute to delinquency. Family stress model. Similarly, lack of parental guidance, one or more parents in trouble with the law, lack of pro-social direction. School teachers should watch for signs of these in order to intervene before the child becomes delinquent. Importance of the public school system relative to the detection and prevention of juvenile delinquency. Children exhibit warning signs that they could be headed toward delinquency. Minor infractions, lack of attention, being bullied, missing school days, increasing antisocial behavior. School teachers have the opportunity to pick up on these trends so interventions can be put into place. Problem detection can start as young as preschool. Shifts focus to prevention instead of reaction. Social workers can arrange for interventional programs both with the children and with parents. Problem areas that have an influence upon juvenile delinquency between peers, parents, and school. Young years are the most formative years. Negative influences can have negative outcomes. Peer pressure. Peers encouraging delinquent acts or a child trying to fulfill expectations that lead to delinquent acts. Parents or the lack of a parent may lead to delinquency, especially if not interactive with child or in trouble with the law themselves. Problems in school, either with grades, undiagnosed attention or learning disabilities, or bullying, causing them to withdraw and seek fulfillment somewhere else. Proceedings of the juvenile court system. Cases are handled differently than if they were an adult case. Delinquent acts are considered to be against the state and are prosecuted by the state. What would be called a crime for an adult is called a delinquent act if committed by a juvenile. Diversion and rehabilitation is the initial and primary goals of the juvenile court system. Juveniles are not arrested, they are detained. At the conclusion of their hearing, they are issued a deposition equivalent to a sentence determining the punishment. Three types of juvenile cases. Delinquency, which are acts of breaking the law. Dependency, where a child is abandoned by guardians and placed arrangements must be made. Status offenses, acts that are only breaking the law due to the fact that the person committing them is underage. Advantages and disadvantages of juvenile incarceration. Used for offenders who repeatedly break the law and are seen in the court system. If they have been incarcerated once, they will most likely be incarcerated again. They are less likely to complete high school, which closes a lot of future doors. Turns incarceration into a normal way of life. Alternatively, creates an atmosphere of structure they may not have at home. Provides worse punishment in hopes of causing them not to wish to return. Keeps juveniles who may be dangerous to others out of the community. Juvenile rehabilitative programs. The Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention oversees juvenile rehabilitative programs used in school systems, foster care system, and in the community. Goal is diversion from incarceration by use of programs. Mentorship, therapy, and accountability systems are major factors. Programs are after school, on weekends, and in some cases, boot camps. Juvenile delinquents are evaluated individually and court-ordered to whichever type of rehabilitation would be best suited to them. Relevance and dynamics of gangs as they relate to the detection and prevention of juvenile delinquency. Gangs are on the rise and recruiting members of younger and younger ages. Juveniles at risk of joining gangs are those prone to violent behaviors, those trying to fit in or prove themselves, dating at a young age, or even engaging in delinquent behaviors. Currently, no programs in place geared towards preventing new gangs from developing. Best tactic is to identify at-risk youth and intervene before they become involved with a gang. Gang awareness and enforcing a strict no-tolerance policy helps to deter juveniles. Teachers and mentors should be trained to be on the lookout for gang-related activities.